Hello there everybody, welcome back to another Topical Tuesday. This is the video series I do every Tuesday where we look at the Lost Art Game subreddit over the last week and we just spend some time reading the top posts and hanging out. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, then stick around and enjoy, question mark? As you can see here though, I'm not on like the top posts right now, but I am on just whatever hot, I guess, is the tab. And you can see that patch notes are out for this week's patch, because I'm doing this a bit later in the day. I'm recording this, I think, 11:30-ish my time, which is pretty early. I'm a little early boy. So I think the main gist of this will probably be the patch notes, but we will take a look at the top posts as well, because that's the whole theme of the video. The whole theme of the video. And of course, if you're sticking around, make sure you like or dislike. Engagement is engagement. And of course, please God, subscribe, because bigger number, better person. If you end up disliking the shit that I constantly put out, you can unsubscribe later, but please don't, or I'll cry. Oh, some positivity. I love posts like this. Because while the game is in a very desperate situation, I don't think that there's no way to enjoy the game. And I've always been one to say that. You can definitely get enjoyment out of something, even if that something isn't in, like, the best state that it's ever been in. Anyways, oops. I opened it and then closed it. Lost Ark Day of Prophecy patch, Kazaros Act 4, Kazaros Raid, denouement? I don't know how to say that word, bro. I am too stupid and or American, one of the two. Denouement? I don't fucking know, man. It's denouncement without the fucking C. I don't know what to tell you. But basically, Kazaros at big raid. Everybody knew this was coming. I don't know why we got a kid in here. I'm sure she matters in some aspect. God, I love her. Mother or whatever. Anyways, I'm not going to go over all of the patch notes because this is basically just telling you Kazaros Raid coming out, the titles you get, all that shit. Basically standard shit you already know, but I do want to touch on this because I mean, it's obviously important, right? Oh, and then this is the secondary raid. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Fucking a con-looking ass, bro. Jeez Louise. And then Arc Grid. So the Arc Grid is the thing that a lot of people are worried about, and I think rightfully so. I do think the Arc Grid is probably going to do a lot to get rid of some of the remaining more casual players. Not that there's very many casual players that still exist, but I think more of the like casual ex-hardcore players that still stick around just to do the raids. I think this might push more people to burn out entirely. But I don't know. I don't know how the system works exactly. I've just seen videos and I've seen obviously the forum posts about it. I understand vaguely how the system works, and it does seem like a fucking nightmare, truthfully. Art Grid is applied per character, applies, or becomes available upon using the first core. Art Grid is not applied in content or regions with special stat balancing. Makes sense. I'm not going to go over every single thing of the system. I mean, this is just the new progression system, the new vertical system with the new raids. We already knew this was coming. I mean, pretty much everybody already knows. This, though, Western system changes. Our team collaborated with Smilegate RPG to customize the system for the Western version. We hope this makes progressing through the system easier, with less fear of missing out on needing to immediately max out the system. In the West, Astro Gems will not be tradable and cannot be listed on the auction house. Instead, when fusing them, you have a 50% chance of them fusing into a roster-bound Astro Gem that you can move to another character on your roster if you wish. Roster-bound Astro Gems, gems from Fusion, processing uses silver instead of gold. Character-bound Astro Gems still require gold. The change is built to help ease player progression through the system. That just seems like a nightmare for funneling then in that case. But maybe I just have the wrong idea. There will be an NPC where you can spend some gold each week if you want to buy more Astro Gems, but there will be a weekly limit on the amount that can be purchased, and bound gold from Paradise can be used. Added an Astro Gem processing option reroll ticket. This will be provided through events in the in-game shop. The ticket can only be used once per Astro Gem. I mean, some Western-specific changes is always a good thing. Even if the first one makes it seem like it's like a funneling change, which I don't know about all that. Then Paradise Season 2. Paradise Season 2 will be running from November 19th till March 4th, 2026. Holy. New Legacy set effects, new orb effects, decrease the luck dependency slightly through the following methods. They set the maximum grade of earnable legacy in the low ranks of Elysian. For example, players cannot earn higher than epic grade legacy gear in level 1 Elysian, whatever you want to call it. I always go back and forth between Elysian and Elysian. Just depends on how I'm feeling in that moment. Decrease the DPS gap between each grade of legacy gear. Increase the DPS gap depending on the quality of legacy gear. Decreased restoration material drops and increased its success rate. Crucible, increase the level of Crucible to 15, which will be the final mode for the end of season ranking. The HP of the level 15 monster will be very high to add more length to the final fight. Hell, Season 2 Hell will be transmutable from the beginning of the season. The Hell key sections will be updated to the following. Free Karma Trial items, random Astro Gem chest, Astro Gem selection chests will be added as reward options. Elysian ticket chests will be added at the start of every season, instead of the legacy chests. So it seems like decent changes overall. Question mark pending on these two, the DPS gap decrease and increase depending on quality / grade. And then you have your events. You have a Kazaros Challenge event. Looks like it's your standard, like, not full progression event, but like, I guess, advanced progression event? I don't know what else you'd call it. Event provides honing materials, bound gold materials for advanced honing from Act 3, Astro Gems, and more. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, it's the 1680 plus one. 1680 to 1730. The Diasparo clear event. Saw some concerns about needing to progress through both raids, maybe missing out on some art grid materials. We've added small event or bonus event to give a few extra art grid materials for every player who completes a mission. Each mission correspond rewards can be claimed once per roster. Mokoko Boot Camp is back. Mokoko Boot Camp has been expanded to include players below 1700, including Act 2 and Act 3, Act 2 hard mode and Act 3 normal mode, including a variety of new rewards. The event will continue until Feb 4th. Mokokos are considered either those under 1700, and they meet the following criteria. Any of the following criteria. New accounts created 60 days or less before the event start date, or returning accounts that haven't logged in for over 60 days, or players who have cleared Gate 1 of the specified raid 30 times or less. So one of these three criteria, and you're below 1700. And then veteran players, any player not meeting the above criteria, which obviously makes sense. And the available raids are basically everything up to Act 3, which is Mortem. Mordoom. Store updates. Bunch of cosmetics. Aw, Lion Mask Pet is so cute. Firework Footstep. Whoa, dude. Black Friday Fall Sale Packs. Poggers. But I think that's about it for the patch notes. No mention of the Kazaros skin from KR. Don't launch Kazaros skins with Kazaros Launch XD. Times 3 cube ticket usage. I didn't even read that. I'm gonna be honest, I fucking skipped over it. No mention of stability fixes regarding to EAC. I have no idea about all that. If you guys are having some EAC issues, I can relate. That shit sucks ass back when I was a gamer. Nah, bro, what is this paid daily reward track shit? They're being so blatant about moving more and more rewards away from playing/events to require spending. Regardless of how worth the paid track is, this is a fucking disgusting direction they're going in. I saw this coming way back when they first announced the changes to Aura, introduction of Azanea's Blessing. Wouldn't surprise me if in a year's time they implement a paid item that increases gold from raids or mats drops from Chaos Guardians to extract what little they can from the player base that remains. I mean, it sucks, man. This is what I always say about like monetization in games specifically. Me personally, I'd prefer my games to have as little monetization as possible inside of it, but I realize that live service games need some form of monetization. So I'd rather the monetization of the games that I play to be purely cosmetic. So if I had the option of removing like anything paid for that gives an in-game advantage, I'd obviously do it in a heartbeat. But I also realize the reality of, especially Korean-based games or Asian-based MMOs in general, that's a very, 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 very unlikely to happen, to the point to where it just will not happen. So it comes down to the age-old question of like, what is acceptable enough for you? Are you okay with what is going on? If not, you know, you had your fun, maybe it's time to move on to the next thing. That's the philosophy that I have, and I think it's the best philosophy to have when it comes to these sort of things. Because realistically, there's not much you as a player can do. Obviously, you can vote with your wallet type shit, but like, the philosophy that I just described that I have, or I try to apply, is sort of the exact reason why this shit won't, like, affect things. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't necessarily vote for your wallet, because I also think that's a very valid thing to do, right? I definitely think not purchasing or interacting with the cash shop, but still being able to enjoy the game, if you're able to do that, absolutely, man. But if the monetization is getting to a point to where it's like actively bumming you out and actively making you not want to play, then I think that's the point where you're like, maybe it's time to find the next thing. That's what I mean. Yeah. Anyways, I didn't want to go over the patch notes too closely because it's a lot of shit, and I mean, let's be honest, y'all already know. If you're a gamer, you already know. This is a long-ass post. Lost Ark Mobile is infuriating for Lost Ark PC players. Retrospect on pay to win. I'm a Lost Ark user since final closed beta on Korea. Oh, my name is Persevere. I totally skipped that. Sorry. I'm a little eepy. My mind's in a different place. TLDR, things have not been great. Things have not been looking great for our version of the game. I mean, yeah, no shit. If you're a Korean user, think of this as North America, South America combined with Europe, Australia, and Middle East, North Africa. I don't know who's ever said MENA. Being 10k CCU. Bots included can be verified through a quick Google to RMT websites. Our game is at an all-time low. Yeah, no shit, man. Peak players always Wednesday. People speedrun their raids and chill for the rest of the week. What happened? Why is the player base so low? I mean, even the peak is kind of not what it used to be. And every subsequent peak is obviously significantly lower than the last. But I don't know. Why is the player base so low? I'm just kind of trying to piece out the things worth reading in here because it's a very long post. Basically, it seems like he's talking about the prices of shit, which is insane. Swiping through royal crystals is prohibitively expensive. Our economy has been ruined. RMT price for 8 million gold is about 290 euros. Whopping 85% discount from RMT through the actual Lost Ark shop. Yeah, I mean, this has always been the problem. This literally has always been the problem. The game is designed around being able to purchase gold at a like a set rate from the company directly, but the reality is there's so many gold farmers and botters and rice farmers, whatever you want to call them, that sell it at a massive discount that inflates the economy, and then the existing systems that are in the game that are designed for the other ways to get gold and not the fucking gold farming and mass gold selling, the gold sinks don't work as effectively because there's too much goddamn gold. But yeah, it's crazy. My entire weekly playtime is 20 euros. That's an hour of work in most countries, even at minimum wage. I can theoretically not play the game for an entire month, RMT 100 euros, and be good. Yeah, it's pretty depressing, man. I don't know what to say. Oh, and then it's talking about, like, how much better mobile is, which sucks. But it's also more pay to win. Feel you on all points. I have over 17,000 hours in the game. Had a really good work situation that allowed me to play every day, and I was obsessed. Loved the game for everything. The story, combat, friends, overall vibe. I still like it to this day. Played since CB. My playtime is exactly like the chart. Speedrun my raids before the weekend. Spend the rest of the week doing quick CD or two, but majority of it playing other games now. I liked how optimized LA Mobile is, how much more beautiful it is due to a modern engine, but man, it would be great if PC Lost Ark got some love. No upgrading engines is not feasible. Maybe it'll become PoE 1, PoE 2 struggle. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think Lost Ark... And I mean, maybe this is the most doomer take that I have, but I don't think PC Lost Ark, unless something crazy changes, or like Amazon hands it off to a different publisher, especially after the AGS downsizing and basically like almost dissolvement of AGS, it's pretty clear to me, more so than it's ever been, that Lost Ark, in the West at least, isn't long for this world. How long it will last, who knows? And I truly do hope I'm wrong here, but the AGS downsizing and basically like dissolvement really cements this idea in my head. Which is why I leave the caveat of a different publisher. Because a different publisher could definitely do some... potentially do some stuff. I've already been yapping for quite some time, so I'll skip over the rest of these. Except for this one, I wanted to touch on the positivity post, because I think it's only fair. Some positivity, I still have a blast playing Lost Ark. To some extent, this is going to be a nothing burgers. Why would you care if I'm having a good time or not? With all the recent negativity between updates, people talking about quitting after Kazarisk, etc., I just wanted to bring some positivity in here for anyone who might be newish to the game or might be confused why everyone is dooming. I'm a day one player. I took a short break when Theomine came out. Other than that, Lost Ark has been one of my main games ever since it came out, sitting at roughly 5,000 hours. Still have a great time doing my raids every week, working on my characters, especially with the addition of Paradise, being able to work on all those characters. For the update, I chose to do one Chaos Dungeon on. With all the free resources, feels amazing. While most of our raids currently are homework, they're still somewhat fun to do, especially when it comes to strategizing what I want to use my resources on. Pumped for Act 4 in Kazaros. Despite all the dooming about ArtGrid, I'm incredibly hyped for what it'll bring. Above it all, people talking about how logical it is to quit after Kazaros. I'm beyond excited for Loa On and the new islands, continents, and whatever they're going to reveal. Don't get me wrong, I don't see Loa On as going to be the answers to all the issues, but I'm hyped for all the positive things it's going to bring. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a totally valid way to look at things, and I think that's a healthy way to look at things. Don't get me wrong, the game does have issues, as I have my opinions as well. Be it new player onboarding, gem prices, book prices. It's one thing to speak out about issues, and another thing to get so frustrated about them that you cannot enjoy a pretty solid game. I understand the sentiment, but I don't think... I think if there's so many people hitting the point of being frustrated about these things that they can't enjoy the game, but they keep trying to force themselves to enjoy the game. Like, those are the people that I think really need to, like, sit back and ask themselves, why am I still playing this game if it does not make me happy even a little bit? I mean, this can go for anything. Too many people have, like, a very strong attachment to things, even when they don't necessarily want it anymore. And it's much easier said than done, but I think the thing that I try to remember in my life in general, because this helps me personally, even if I don't always follow it perfectly, the only person I can control in life is myself. My actions, my reactions, my emotions, the things that I do. The only person I can control is me, and all of those things I can control in relation to me. So if I'm getting negative feelings by playing Lost Ark, I can stop playing it. I shouldn't keep bashing my head against the wall, hoping that they will change it to something that I like. You know what I mean? And it sucks, cause like I did it for a while too. I was the same way. I was like, man, I want them to do better, and I hope they do better. And I kept sticking around, waiting and waiting and waiting, and it just never happened. Eventually, I hit the point to where I just was not having fun anymore, like at all. And it just bummed me out. So that's when I was like, you know what, it's time to hit the dusty trail. And it's hard to be able to make that decision, you know? I get it. I do. But it's just not good for you, the community that exists, or anyone, really. But, yeah. My mindset has been to play the game when it's fun, take breaks, and come back when new stuff comes out. Sometimes this means playing 2 hours or 20 hours of new content. Yep. I think that's the healthiest mindset to have with video games in general. Play the game when it's fun, take breaks when you need to. Simple. The game, Lost Ark specifically, definitely isn't the kindest to people who play like that. But at the end of the day, whether or not you're playing in the meta-slave fashion doesn't really matter if you're still having fun with it, and that's the whole idea. If you have fun with it, play it. If you're not, take a break. And I think that's it. I'll wrap it up there, because I've been yapping for 22 minutes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like the video if you like it, subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye! Thank you to my YouTube members. It's Inner Diz Remix My Life. I'm Nufu. Mwah.